themselves within the circle, but also with cover so that they're not targeted by the majority of the lobby, because we've got 17 squads left, and you'd imagine that probably about 10 of them are already pretty much central zone right now, and they're going to be looking out.
Tell you what, NRG are in a pretty good spot right now. They've got control. Yes, they're on the low ground, and they will have to find a way to go up, but Near Eternity are the team who are above them. They've got opportunities to pick up KP in front of them. However, that team just Valkyrie in late might have just slowed things down and made this a little bit more difficult here for NRG, as all these teams now going to have to rotate out from Lava Siphon down onto this dusty land, which is just outside of launch site. This is going to be the lobby getting cut down very, very quickly from 16 squads.
A team Valking in and making things difficult for everyone else in the lobby. Who'd have thought it? It seems to be happening a lot here, but that one team is certainly shredded now. Bowser going huge with a Rampage, does have Eva 8 in the back pocket, needs to be careful though, has to back off and requires support from the rest of the team. Torrent have been taken down elsewhere. I think they finished in 16th spot, so they don't get the one placement point for top 15, but certainly things starting to heat up in this lobby now.
And who was that took down Torrent? It was NRG. NRG picking up yet more KP and more momentum in this game number 4, exactly what was needed. And what the doctor ordered. Xenox is going to be doing work for Sentinels once again. He takes down McNuggy, but I had to point that out. I've always wanted to say that sentence. And Sentinels now make their move. They're padding up to the high ground as well. It looks like they're going to try and overlook what their next move is going to be.
It is true. 6 years ago, me and Mark were casting together. He said, hey, Dan, one day I really want to say McNuggy bar on cast.
Dream.
And I said, I will join you. So I've said it as well. But Sentinels now laying down the fire from above here. And they could really be a thorn in the side of so many of these teams, because they're going to be oozing confidence. They're going to be playing with no fear whatsoever, just wanting to destroy the rest of the lobby, because they are on an absolute tear. But Xenox has to be careful.
Xenox has to be careful, but here comes a push now, and it's down to Tech Candy, the last player alive. The Sentinels are going to move in as well, and that's going to be Lou cleaning up the damage done with that Peacekeeper. And once again, Sentinels just don't seem to be missing shots. Even though they've got a tough move to make in 10 seconds or so, it looks like they've recognized that, and they're thinking about wiping the lobby in front of them, picking up as many KP as possible.
Complexity fall in 13th spot. Era Eternity have lost 2, if not 3 by this point as well. So NRG and the likes of Sentinels have really just been running through teams down in this area and making it very awkward for them indeed. Down to just 12 squads now, but look at the amount of KP that is there on the NRG side. Just looking at one player, I mean, there's already 8 KP, probably more. I would imagine around 10. So if they can push their way into the top 5 here, they could very much get themselves not just on the bottom of the leaderboard, but to the top half of the leaderboard as they pick up even more KP here.
Sweet Dreams tucks someone in and says goodnight. Now he's going to be moving up to that bubble. Another player just lacking behind in the zone. All sorts of damage going down. Sweet going down. NRG going down. As 9 squads find themselves left in this lobby. Sentinels have managed to rotate through. However, Lou's got a player in front of him. However, he's got a Peacekeeper to work with as well. And Lou will clear the way for Sentinels.
Sentinels just keep rolling. Nothing seems to be able to stop this Sentinels train. NRG went down in 10th, but they went down with a bang. Plenty of KP. That's the points they needed. Lazarus, another team I've been very impressed by throughout every single game. Their positioning, their rotations, they've been spot on, and they're consistently finding themselves in the end game here. They do have a little bit of movement to get across, but they're shooting onto Sentinels at the moment. Sentinels really struggling to stay alive now. Surely the dream is over. There's not going to be back-to-back wins here, as Xenox the last remaining player.
Top 6 though, already top 6. And it might become something even better as well. If Xenox can stay alive and let the other teams do the work. It's in a difficult spot though. You can see that Benchwarmers are trying to focus on them, and Benchwarmers are a team who came through the qualification and really had to work hard to do so. A win for them here would fill them with confidence as well. We've got members of tournament winning teams previously making up this lineup as well. We have 24 seconds left now until these 6 teams are going to be forced together once more.
I mean, Benchwarmers, it's kind of the perfect name for them, isn't it? Because they're kind of 3 players who are mismatched, who have maybe been mistreated by other teams, maybe could have been on even better teams and stayed there, but instead find themselves all teaming together, and I think they could be a real force to be reckoned with. As you say, during playoffs, they were very impressive, managed to get their way here to qualify, and now they're within the top 6, and they've got a full complement of health, and they are close enough to the circle here that this could be a top 5, if not more, if they play this one correctly.
We're going to go down from Noct, and there's going to be a skyward dive here. This is a risky play for them, but they're going to have to make it work. Keep an eye on Madness's HP at the bottom left-hand side of your screen. He's the player who is controlling where this dive will land. And it doesn't look like there's much real estate to play with, to be honest with you, Dan. It's going to be a tough landing here. It might be a little bit of a rough landing as Nox will fall, Madness will fall, and Rambo finds himself on a solo mission.
Oh, that was more than just turbulence there. That was very much a crash landing. Noble were on the other side. They managed to take down 2. The last remaining player doesn't really have a hope in hell of staying alive, but if the bubble can come up, actually no, it's not the Gibby that's alive, never mind. Noble should be able to finish things off now after they get rid of the shields, but Xenox is going to be joining things and making sure that Noble are not going to be able to easily stop doing this. What are you doing right now?
Oh my
Does eventually go down, but boy does he make this a scary lobby.
Xenox versus the world, we've just seen, and he almost managed to completely wipe a team off the face of World's Edge with that Kraber in his hand. I don't know how the man does it, but he's playing some nutty Apex Legends as well as his teammates. They do fall, as now we find ourselves with 4 squads remaining. Make that 3, as Legacy MX, one of the Mexican lineup, are still involved in these final moments.
And somehow one member of Benchwarmers was still alive as well. Benchwarmers still very much in this, but now Legacy are going to take down those 2 remaining players. 2 squads left. Legacy just need to make sure they get the shield swap and make sure they reset here.
Pretty sure they've got this one in the bag as well. I'm pretty sure it's just a lone player alive. We'll have to check over and see if there is anyone still alive. It's going to be a full lineup. Renegades are still here. I thought I saw a player go down from Renegades. I don't know if there's a Reds come in or if it's something that I just missed, but it's a straight 3v3. It's a shootout.
High ground over on the side of Legacy, though. Renegades are going to have to move into the high ground, and actually they say we're going to jump onto the high ground.
Standoff between the 2 teams. Good old-fashioned shootout, like a Western, is what we're going to see between the 2 teams. Now, Legacy up on top. Renegades down on the low ground. And it looks like the way this zone is moving at the moment, it might be Legacy who are forced to drop first. They also have the option of defensive bombardment. Renegades to try and force them down, although the bubble will counteract that. So, it'll be very interesting to see how this one plays out. Do Legacy have grenades to play with? Can they get that initial damage to make that drop a little bit easier?
There is a little bit of utility to play with, a few grenades here or there. They've got plenty of meds as well. Legacy certainly have the high ground and the best position right now. On the other side for Renegades, they have to play this one perfectly. They really need to be patient. They need to try and deal a little bit of damage as the other team drops. And if they can do damage as Legacy falls or just isolate one of the players, they can turn this into a 3v2 very quickly. Remember, bubbles on both sides means that this could just be a bubble off when both teams drop.
I think this might be the caustic ult that's going to make the difference, or maybe it's just going to be a thermite starting to tick away at the shields here of Pow Pow, having to pop some shield cells, just trying to keep a line of sight as well, as Joe Max is going to take a lot of damage. Tick damage coming in as well. You can see the thermite is doing all of the work here. The bubble being forced as well. Legacy now make their move, but they lose the first player in this fight. Renegades are going to look good, but not as good as Legacy. They managed to clutch things up, and I tell you what, Mexican lineup are going to be feeling extremely proud of themselves right now.
Usually I'd say it's inevitable at that point when you have that high ground, when you have that positioning over another team, but how many times have we seen a position like that thrown away?